Good afternoon. Now, today we shall start new chapter, that is the fuel. Everybody knows about the fuel. Mainly, fuel term is used for heat source, but light source is also come under the term fuel. Now, question is, what are fuels? Simply, fuel is the material which gives heat energy on combustion. Combustion means oxidation process in which heat is generated. For example, you can say carbon, any material having carbon, when it is burned in air or in O2 atmosphere, it is changed into carbon dioxide and heat. Not only carbon, hydrogen can also generate heat on combustion. So this are, you can say, and hydrogen plus O2 half O2 it is H2O plus heat. So it hydrogen is also fuel. Now question is, what is the fuel? It is a source of heat and light. For industrial and domestic purposes. And mostly fuels give heat on combustion. And here the example. Now second thing, we should understand about the unit of the heat. Unit of heat. Mostly we use calorie and kilocalorie or joule as a unit of heat. The most popular word is the calorie. Calorie. And 1000 times of the calorie, the kilocalorie. So here I have written, this is the calorie. What is the calorie? What do you mean by calorie? How much amount of the heat can be considered as a 1 calorie? So it is said that 1 calorie, it is the amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 gram. 1 gram of the water by 1 degree centigrade. 1 ग्राम पानी के टेम्परेचर को 1 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड बढ़ाने में जितनी हीट रिक्वायर्ड होती है, उस हीट की मात्रा को, अमाउंट को हम 1 कैलोरी कहते हैं. सिंपल. 1 ग्राम पानी को आप हीट करें, टेम्परेचर 1 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड बढ़ जाए. मोस्टली 15 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड से 16 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड तक हम टेम्परेचर बढ़ाएं. 1 डिग्री टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया तो जितनी हीट रिक्वायर्ड होगी 1 ग्राम पानी के टेम्परेचर को 1 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड बढ़ाने के लिए, तो हम कहेंगे इसको 1 कलारी। तो वेरी सिंपल डिफिनीशन ऑफ द 1 कलारी। नाउ सेकेंडली 1 कलारी it is equal to 4.185 joule. Another unit of the heat. What is the relation between calorie and joule? It is 1 calorie equal to 4.185 joule. Or 4.185 into 10 power 7 earth. Or it is also another unit of the heat. Now, in metric system, we use kilocalorie. 1 kilocalorie it is equal to 1000 calorie. So you can change calorie into kilocalorie. So this is the very popular unit which are usually used in the heat measurement. Now there are some other units like British thermal unit. It is BTHU, British thermal unit. The definition of this unit is the amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 pound Kelvin, 1 pound of water by 1 degree Fahrenheit, not centigrade. 1 degree Fahrenheit. Simply you can say 1 पाउंड पानी के तापक्रम को 1 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट बढ़ाने के लिए जितनी हीट रिक्वायर्ड होती है, आवश्यक होती है, उसको हम कहते हैं 1 ब्रिटिश थर्मल यूनिट और BTHU, and 1 BTHU, 1 British thermal unit equal to 252 calorie. Or 0.252 kilocalorie. CHU is another unit. CHU means C for centigrade, H for heat, U for unit. Centigrade heat unit. In this unit, when 1 pound of the water is heated by 1 degree centigrade, not Fahrenheit, 1 degree centigrade. So the heat required to raise the temperature of 1 pound of the water by 1 degree centigrade, then that is called a CHU unit. So we should know about the units of the heat. Now there are different types of the fuel. Different types of the fuel. Primary fuels and some fuels are secondary fuels. And we know that what are the primary fuels. Primary fuels, you know, wood. Wood is the primary. Natural, you can say primary fuel is natural. So primary fuel is the wood, coal, like peat, PEATP, and lignite. Peat and lignite are the quality of the coal. Quality of the coal. Coal is of a different quality depending upon the percentage of the carbon. In other way, you can say that quality of the coal depends upon the calorific value. Calorific value. We shall discuss about the calorific value. So, one of the primary fuel is the wood, peat and lignite. This is the solid primary fuel. Second is the liquid primary fuel. You know crude oil. Crude oil is the primary liquid fuel. And gaseous fuel, primary gaseous fuel. That is the natural gas. So in this way, here we can write the classification of fuel. Classification of fuel. So just see here, this is the classification of the fuel. Primary fuel, secondary fuel. Primary fuel may be solid, may be liquid, may be gas. So, in solid primary fuel, coal, most popular, coal, next popular. So, peat is one of the type of the coal. Lignite, it is also a type of the coal. Second is the liquid fuel, primary liquid fuel, crude oil, gas, natural gas. Now secondary fuel, coke, it is solid, charcoal, it is solid, so it is the secondary fuel. Liquid secondary fuel, petrol, LPG, and gas, oil gas, coal gas, water gas. So these are the secondary gas fuel. So in this way we can classify different fuels. Now there is very important term used in fuel because quality of the fuel depends upon calorific value. Calorific value. You will find that this fuel, any type of the fuel is better than this one. So how you can say this one is better than? For example, if I say that peat is poor fuel. It is a coal. It is a poor coal. Why? Because the calorific value is very low. And we need such a type of fuel which can give much more amount of the heat but the amount of the fuel used should be minimum. So in this way, we can use a term known as calorific value. Calorific value. So here, calorific value. Calorific value. Calorific value. There are two types of the calorific values. One is the GCV or LCV. Second is the NCV or LCV. So how we can define? Just see, calorific value means calorific value is defined as amount of heat when unit mass or unit volume of fuel is completely burned in air or O2. Completely burned into air or O2. Completely burned, what do you mean by it? For example, if I say carbon plus O2, it is changed into CO2 plus heat. So here, just see here, unit mass of the carbon, it is completely changed into carbon dioxide when it is combusted in O2 atmosphere. You will get carbon dioxide and heat. It means calorific value of the fuel depends upon the percentage of the carbon content. Now, there are two types of the calorific value. One is the GCV and second is the LCV. LCV or LCV, net calorific value. You can write here net calorific value. This is the LCV one, low calorific value. You can say low calorific value. Low calorific value. Here, LCV, high calorific value, high, maximum, adhiktam. Gross calorific value, you can say gross calorific calorific value. Gross calorific. So how to define gross calorific value? So gross calorific value is defined as the amount of heat produced when unit mass or unit volume of the fuel is completely burned in air or O2 atmosphere and products are not allowed to escape out. Not allowed. Why? Because some of the product they have some latent heat. For example, you say that fuel has hydrogen content. So hydrogen will also burn in oxygen atmosphere or air. So it will form H2. So 587 calorie. This is the latent heat. Latent heat of steam. Latent heat of steam. So if steam is allowed to escape out of the system, then this much energy, heat energy will lose. So we cannot say that total heat amount is this much because we lost this heat. And therefore, in the definition of GCV, that GCV or LCV, how to define GCV or LCV? It is defined as the calorific value, GCV or LCV, is defined as the calorific value when unit mass or unit volume of the fuel is completely burned in air or O2 and products are not allowed to escape out. So first of all, I define calorific value, simply a calorific value. Calorific value is defined as the amount of heat produced when unit mass or unit volume of the fuel is completely burned in air or oxygen atmosphere. Simply. But as soon as if somebody asks you what is the gross calorific value, then you have to add this one. So in the gross calorific value or high calorific value, we have to define it is the amount of heat when unit mass or unit volume of the fuel is completely burned in air or oxygen and products are, this is very important, products are not allowed to escape out. As I told you, if the fuel is burned in open system, steam will escape out, will go out, and some portion of the heat is lost. So we can't say this is the total heat. And therefore, there is a restriction. There is a restriction. Means we do not allow the product form. Suppose here carbon plus O2, it is carbon dioxide plus heat, hydrogen plus O2, it is H2O plus heat. So this is the steam. This is the steam. If steam is allowed to go out, what will happen? This much amount of heat means 5, 8, 7 calories. This much heat is lost because this is the latent heat of steam or latent heat of vapor. So in this way, you can define the GCB or LCB. Now, second thing, this is the LCB or LCB. ये कम है, GCB टोटल हीट प्रोड्यूस्ड है, ये कम है. इसकी डिफिनेशन में कहते हैं कि इस पोर्शन को आप निकाल दो. कहता है कि LCB या LCB net calorific value, you can say right here, net calorific value is defined as the amount of heat produced when unit mass or unit volume of the fluid is completely burned in air or O2 and products are allowed to escape out. Products are allowed to escape out. तो प्रोडक्ट ये बाहर चला जाएगा. इसका माने कि कुछ न कुछ हीट कम हो गई. वही जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि लेटेंट हीट ऑफ स्टीम, इफ स्टीम इज अलाउड टू गो आउट, so 5, 8, 7 calorie of the heat will be reduced and therefore कितना हीट बची, that is the net. So net calorific value, and this is why there is a relation between GCB and LCB. Relation between GCB and LCB. There's a relation between GCB and LCB. Relation between GCB and LCB. So LCB it is equal to GCB minus 0.09% of hydrogen into latent heat of steam. So first of all, you have to calculate GCB and subtract this amount of the heat, because steam will be formed by the combustion of the hydrogen and therefore hydrogen percentage present in the fluid is considered. So this is a very simple relation LCB. You can also say that GCB is equal to LCB plus 0.09 into percentage of hydrogen into 587 calorie. This is the latent heat of steam. Latent heat of steam. So during the calculation of LCB, suppose LCB is known, percentage of hydrogen in the fuel is known, we can calculate GCB. If GCB value is known and GCB value is experimentally determined, we shall talk about the experimental determination of the gross calorific value, means GCB or HCB, high calorific value. Experimentally, you have heard about the bomb calorimeter. Bomb calorimeter is the device in which we can burn the fuel and measure the heat produced. So the heat produced is the gross calorific value. So experimentally, whenever we determine the experimental value, we get GCB. So if GCB is known, we have to calculate NCB. We say GCB minus 0.09 percentage of hydrogen into latent heat of steam. So in this way, very simply you can calculate either GCB or NCB by applying this formula. Now another question is, what are the characteristics of the good fuel? Actually, no one would like to have a bad fuel. Everyone like a good fuel. So at least we should know about the characteristics of a good fuel. We shall discuss about what are the characteristics of the good fuel. We can say good fuel must have high calorific value. Very easily you can say ऐसा ईंधन चाहिए कि जो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हीट दे. तो पहला पॉइंट आप ये कह सकते हो कि अच्छा ईंधन वो है. आइडियल ईंधन कौन सा है? आइडियल वो है जो कम मात्रा में फ्यूल जला करके ज़्यादा मात्रा में हीट दे. तो इसको हम साइंटिफिक लैंग्वेज में कैसे करते हैं कि हाई कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू होना चाहिए. तो एक अच्छा ईंधन कौन होगा जिसका कि कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू हाई हो. दूसरी बात यह है कि ईंधन की कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू ही अच्छी हो यह जरूरी नहीं है, और भी विशेषताएं होनी चाहिए. और भी विशेषता में आप जानेंगे तो इसका रेट ऑफ कंबस्टन मॉडरेट होना चाहिए. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि आपने जलाया और तुरंत सब जल गया. तो रेट ऑफ कंबस्टन हाई नहीं होना चाहिए. रेट ऑफ कंबस्टन शुड बी मॉडरेट. तीसरा, ऐसा होना चाहिए ईंधन जिसका कि इग्निशन पॉइंट भी मॉडरेट हो. ऐसा नहीं है कि ज्वलन भी ऐसा टेम्परेचर कि बहुत ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर देने पर फिर वो जले, ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. या इतना भी कम ना हो जरा सा आपने उसको हीट दिया और जल गया पूरा, तो ऐसा भी नहीं. मॉडरेट होना चाहिए. तो रेट ऑफ कंबस्टन एज वेल एज इग्निशन टेम्परेचर मस्ट बी मॉडरेट. Not only that, ideal fuel or good fuel should not produce unwanted gases. Unwanted, I mean to say, it should not produce such type of the gas which is injurious to health. Not injurious to health, It should not pollute environment. Environment का भी ध्यान हमको रखना है। हमारा environment, वातावरण, ये भी प्रदूषित न हो। तो हमारा ईंधन ऐसा होना चाहिए कि इसके कंबस्शन के बाद या जलने के बाद ऐसी गैसें न उत्पन्न हो, ऐसे प्रोडक्ट न उत्पन्न हो कि जिससे कि हमारा इन्वायरमेंट खराब हो या ह्यूमन लाइफ को खतरा हो। तो ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए। ईंधन आइडियल ऐसा होना चाहिए कि जिसमें कि मॉइस्चर कंटेंट कम हो, सूखा होना चाहिए। ऐसा नहीं कि ईंधन में बहुत ज़्यादा मॉइस्चर है तो उसके जलने में दिक्कत होगी, तो उसका हीट कंटेंट कम हो जाएगा, कैलोरीफिक वैल्यू कम हो जाएगी। तो आवर आइडियल फ्यूल मस्ट हैव लो परसेंटेज ऑफ मॉइस्चर। एंड लास्टली we should also remember about the cost of the fuel. ऐसा ईंधन बहुत अच्छा ईंधन है, सारी विशेषता बहुत ठीक है, लेकिन बहुत महंगा है। फिर क्या होगा? कॉमनली हमारे उपयोग में ऐसा ईंधन नहीं आएगा। हाँ, स्पेसिफिक चीजों में हो सकता है, लेकिन कॉमनली जो डोमेस्टिक पर्पज, मैंने पहले बताया, ईंधन की एक सरल परिभाषा जो हीट प्रोड्यूस करे कंबस्शन के बाद, इसलिए फॉर इंडस्ट्री एंड फॉर डोमेस्टिक पर्पज। तो ऐसा ईंधन है जो कि बहुत कॉस्टली है, तो वी कांट यूज इट इन इंडस्ट्री as well as we can't use in domestic purpose. Now it is also very important how to store storage problem. ऐसा ईंधन हो जो कि सामान्यतः हम इसको स्टोर कर सकते हैं, उसके लिए विशेष स्पेसिफिक कोई तरीका नहीं बनाना है कि उसको जो है हम इस तरह से स्टोर करेंगे तो इजीली स्टोर किया जा सके, इजीली ट्रांसपोर्ट किया जा सके। तो ऐसे ईंधन हमारे लिए आइडियल ईंधन होंगे। तो ऑल दीज आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द गुड फ्यूल। सो दिस इज ऑल द प्राइमरी थिंग व्हिच every student should know about the fuel, that what is the fuel, what are the units of the heat, and what is classification of the fuel, what is calorific value, types of the calorific value, gross calorific value, net calorific value, and relation between gross calorific value and net calorific value, and characteristics of the good fuel. So this is all of the today lecture. Thank you very much.